There's only 3 times when a man is allowed to cry publicly. Let's talk about it today. We're going live. We'll do it live. Okay.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
Good morning, gentlemen, and a few of you ladies out there. We're gonna trigger some people today. I know it. But Paul, I should be able to cry whenever I want to. Go ahead. I mean, there are consequences. We've had some interesting things happen lately, though. So I thought it would be good. It would be good to have this discussion. You know, we're getting to climb into the trust tree, and let's talk about this. Let's have a real discussion about this. When is it acceptable for a man to cry in public? Now, modern society will tell you that a man should be able to cry whenever and wherever he wants to, right? In fact, yesterday on Facebook, there's a new lady that started following me on Facebook. I can tell, right? You can see when someone likes an advertising post and then immediately starts going in and commenting on all the latest stuff. That's good. That's actually good. It's a good thing. But she was like, a man should be able to cry whenever he wants to. Anybody should be able to express their emotions. And I said, should, in quotes. Yeah, maybe they should, right? Maybe they should be able to do that. But red pill, my friends, isn't about what should be. It's about objective truth and reality, right? Right. Okay. Now, what got me on this subject is a clip that went viral on X recently where someone was saying that Myron from Fresh and Fit was holding back tears in his passionate tirade over what was going on with his friend and business partner, Walter, better known as Fresh, right? Let me just go ahead and play that clip real quick, okay? We'll get this out of the way.
Gonna stand by the guys that stand by me, because you fucking pieces of shit aren't fucking there when I'm going through it. You pieces of shit aren't fucking there.
We're not at the 8-minute mark. You guys better send super chats.
Because we got demonetized. You motherfuckers weren't there when everyone and their fucking mom came at us. You motherfuckers weren't there when I got the false accusation against me. You motherfuckers weren't there when this bitch lied and said that I got her pregnant when I fucking did it. And then you dumbasses 3 years later believe some bitch that makes the same fucking allegations again. You fucking idiots! I'm not going anywhere. I'm standing right fucking here. All right? These guys were with me in my darkest times. I'm not gonna fucking leave them in their darkest times. Fuck you, motherfuckers. I got my real estate, got my money, I'm fine. I'm not going anywhere. I can't be bought.
That was real. That was real talk.
Now, there was a lot of F-bombs in there. There's a lot of cursing in there. We're not at the 8-minute mark. So guys, send some super chats because we're gonna get this video demonetized for that one. But to be fair, do I think that Myron was on the verge of crying? No, I don't. Okay, no, I don't. Do I think Myron is justified in his anger? Sure. Yes, I do. Why not? But just like a man crying, right? There is a time and a place to let your emotions out as a man. Okay. This situation was not it. Not unless it was all kayfabe, right? Not unless it was all pro wrestling, right? Because then if that was the case, then it definitely made for emotionally engaging internet drama that keeps people tuning in. Okay. But I don't necessarily think that was what was happening here, right? Before we get into it, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit those notifications. Okay. Got new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And do sound off in the comment section, the live chat, because that helps these go by much smoother. I don't like just talking to myself out there. And yes, we are probably going to get demonetized because I played that video right before the 8-minute mark. So do send some super chats, support the show. Now, if you guys don't know what was happening there, right? If you guys are out of the loop on what's going on with Fresh and Fit, Walter allegedly got a Chinese escort pregnant. Okay. And she called him up and recorded a phone call, basically trying to shake him down for money. Okay. And so they retained James Sexton, one of the nation's best family court attorneys. He's been on with us on Rule Zero. He's been on Rolo Show a couple of times, and he was on Fresh and Fit. They retained his services, and he said, "Guys, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just say no comment. He's like, say it with me now. No comment. Right? Basically, shut the fuck up and let me handle it." And they can't stop. They just can't stop talking about it. I don't know. But James did also tell them, he's like, if you guys keep running your mouth, I make more money. That's, because that makes my job harder. So I make more money. Right. So, maybe he's crying into his wad of cash, whatever. But see, that's what happens when you can't control your emotions. You have to let it out, right? You have to let it out right then and there. And, but if you learn some kind of emotional control, you can actually take your attorney's advice and shut the fuck up, let him handle it. There's, we'll get into it more here in a little bit. Right. But, basically a part of working on your frame as a man is emotional durability. Okay. Emotional durability. This is not about suppressing your emotions, but rather controlling your emotions. Okay. Understanding there's a time and a place for it. Right. So Myron's rant wasn't the best time and the place for a few reasons, right? It hurts his credibility as a red pill content creator when he loses emotional control. It shows that he has no frame, right? And right before his rant, Walter's attorney, like I said, had just told them both to shut the fuck up. And he said, get used to saying no comment. Okay. So guys, here's the thing. I was having this conversation with someone on Twitter about this, right? Because they're like, but he's justified. They were taking down his friend or whatever. It's like, he's like, the court of public opinion, man. Like you gotta clean this stuff up because of the court of public opinion. Guys, the court of public opinion doesn't matter. Okay, real court matters. All right. The court of public opinion fades away after a few months to a year. Most people will have forgotten this business in 6 months. Okay. So trying to defend yourself in front of tens of thousands of people and possibly saying something stupid will not help you or your friend when you're trying to fight a legal battle. Okay. Same kind of thing when some of you guys are going through divorces and you guys are like, oh, she's trying to stick it to me. Well, I'm going to stand up for myself and I'm going to stick it back to her. It's like, there's a time to be strategic. All right. And when you're going through court, it's best to be strategic about it. Ryan talks about it in Dread, right? He has a whole chapter on what to do and working with your attorney to be strategic about it, right? How to be strategic in your communications with her and stuff, right? So it makes her look like a piece of trash and you look like this upstanding citizen. Like it's in the court of like family court and stuff like that. It's all about how you're perceived. Right. And a lot of you guys have no fucking emotional control and you let the emotions get the best of you. And you guys come across looking like raving lunatics, and women use that to their advantage all the time. Right. All right. Enough about Myron though. That's all I'm going to say about that. I don't think he was crying. Okay. So that's just to be fair. But another reason why I thought of this topic was WrestleMania, guys. On a much more positive note, WrestleMania was this weekend, and two times over the weekend, I saw grown men cry. Right? One was Sami Zayn, the new Intercontinental Champion. Let me play that clip real quick.
Gunther's in trouble. A little bit touched by Sami. Gunther collapses in the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, do you believe in miracles? Hurry, Sami. The cover.
Sami Zayn won the Intercontinental title from Gunther, who's been the Intercontinental Champion for a record-breaking 666 days. That's the longest Intercontinental reign in the history of WWE. And Sami beat that son-of-a-bitch, right? That guy was a powerhouse, and Sami took that guy down. And so he cried. He cried when he got the title. He went and kissed his wife. He cried, And now a lot of you guys are like, but it's wrestling's fake, right? Why is he crying about that? Well, no, in the world of professional wrestling, when the company gives you a title, it means that they believe in you, right? So it's predetermined, but it actually is a reward, right? It's a reward for all your hard work. It means the company recognizes everything that you've done, and they know that you can sell tickets, basically, is what that comes down to. So it's emotional. It's emotional for those guys, okay? And then another grown man cry. Actually, this guy's been kind of a crybaby lately. Yeah, like he's been crying like in front of audiences and stuff. So maybe this guy doesn't count, but this also happened.
Crossroads. Cover. Finished the story.
You can hear it in Samantha Irvin's voice. She's holding back tears, but that's okay because she's a woman.
Samantha Irvin, understandably overcome with emotion. We all are.
We all are, man. Cody, finish this story, brother. Here it is. Here it is. Oh, here it is. He did it. He finished the story for his daddy. Yeah. If you guys have been following that story, I mean, Cody has been chasing that title for like 2 years now, which actually is just really good fucking storytelling. They don't really tell the chase story anymore, And now that Vince McMahon's gone and Triple H is in charge, they can tell stories like that. Long-term storytelling that really gets you involved in it, right? It's good stuff. So, seeing those two guys cry, it reminded me of this clip that I saw from my man George Bruno.
Cried in front of your wife, didn't you? Or your girlfriend? Just DM me if you did, because that's not good. Someone asked me once in an interview, actually they created a short film for their senior film project where they interviewed men like myself. And they said, when is it okay for a man to cry? And I say birth and death. That's it. The birth of your children and death. The death of a loved one. The death of your parents. The death of a brother, sister.
Death of a dog.
Friend, that kind of thing. Birth and death. But this whole finding your feminine side stuff is bullshit. Like one woman wrote me and said, George, can you help me? I keep meeting men that cry more than I do. That's a whole generation of men who learn to embrace their feminine side. There's no such thing as a feminine side. Stop it with that bullshit already. Just stop it. No such thing as a feminine side.
No such thing as a feminine side, guys. Write that down. Write that down. That's the legendary George Bruno there. So I took what George said and I made this tweet over the weekend. You guys may have seen it, right? There's only 3 times in a man's life when he can cry publicly: funerals, the birth of his children, and winning a championship at WrestleMania, guys. Okay? Those are the only 3 times. Those are the only 3 times. The rest of the time, you have to embrace the suck. Okay? All right. I don't make the rules. Actually, I guess I do. I had people in there going, well, what about this right here, like Luffy, right? He says, winning a gaming tournament worth thousands of dollars live streamed. I said, I'm afraid not. Afraid not. It's not WrestleMania, bro. And then this guy said, winning Lord Stanley. Those boys are usually pretty broken and coming off of an adrenaline high. And I didn't know what Lord Stanley meant, but he was talking about the Stanley Cup. And I was like, nope, it's not WrestleMania, bro. Sorry. Yeah, hockey's not the same as pro wrestling, bro. Sorry. Anyway. Now, I also read, going through this and getting ready for this show, I read an old Reddit forum post that someone said, you can cry when your daughter gets married. Why would you cry for that, though? I don't know. Like, let me ask you guys. I have a daughter, and I do want her to get married someday. It's funny because the advice I give my son is totally different, right? I'm like, you don't need to get the government involved in your relationships. But my daughter, I'm like, oh yeah, do it. Like it's all upside for women, right? So it's like, yeah, do it. Go marry a rich attorney, and yeah, have lots of babies. Anyway, so I just don't know that I would cry at my daughter's wedding, though, right? What do you guys think? When do you think it's okay to cry in public? I've sort of been ignoring the chat here. Let me see here. When is it okay to cry in public, guys? Let me see. Have any of you guys seeing your kids win the WrestleMania Championship? That maybe. If it's just fucking like little league baseball or fucking soccer, no. I'll take you out to ice cream. I ain't crying for that. But if you win the big one, right? The Universal WWE Championship, I'm gonna cry. Oh, Louise says, I started watching George Bruno when he only made beard videos. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude's been in the space for a long time. He also has a lot of videos on pipe smoking. Interesting enough. I don't know. Anyway. So that guy, someone on Reddit said, when your daughter gets married. I don't know about that, right? I will add this to the funeral thing. It may be okay to cry, okay? But you still have to be able to handle your shit, right? You still have to be able to handle your shit. You have to be able to take care of arrangements if that's your duty. Everyone still expects you to handle your shit, okay? If you can't handle your shit, people will lose respect for you, right? Maybe that's unfortunate as a man, right? Dustin Summerall on Instagram commented on my post and said, well, you can cry when you get terminal cancer. Not in public. Paul, that's terminal cancer. What do you mean? Yeah, man. How many times have you heard about women leaving men at their fucking lowest? Right? How many times? A lot. In fact, I've got a post about it. We're going to read here at the end. Guy loses his job. Guy gets injured. Serious illness like cancer, maybe. It happens a lot, right? But I have a working hypothesis on this. Matt Gibson, my last relationship. Yeah. I have a working hypothesis on this, okay? Women, they don't necessarily leave because something bad happens. Okay, they do tend to leave when they think the guy's given up on himself, though. Right? So, man, someone said it on Twitter today that I thought they worded it really well, right? He's expressing his emotions without taking accountability for his emotions, right? It's basically just expressing your emotions without any kind of fucking solution. You know what I mean? And women, I think, will forgive that if you have a plan, right? If they don't feel like they have to become the man in the relationship, they'll probably be okay with it, right? I wouldn't make it a habit, because if you make it a habit, they're going to be like, why the fuck is this guy crying all the time? I don't want to be the man in the relationship, right? Women don't want to be the man in the relationship, right? No matter what they say, they'll say, no, express your emotions. I feel more connected with you when you're vulnerable. It's a fucking trap. It's a trap. It's not accurate, right? Because there's things that women say, and then there's things that they actually do, right? And they have these survival responses that are baked into their mammalian brain, right? Their lizard brain, or whatever you want to call it, their monkey brain, that makes them question your ability to lead the relationship and be a protector. You know, they'll be like, wait a second, this guy's weak, right? And that's how they tend to look at this sort of thing. And it sucks. It sucks, but it's a fact of life for men. Okay, we have a burden of performance. All right. All right. On that note, guys, do follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good platforms. Get on my email list, guys. List.comeonmanpod.com. I am all out of stickers. So I just ordered some new stickers. So if you get on the email list and you want stickers, just be patient with me. They're on order. But most people don't want stickers. So just write "don't want stickers" in the address field, and I won't waste a stamp trying to send you some. But you do get 20 dating app openers, and you get a free chapter of my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18, which is available on Amazon and Audible. So do get that. If you go to books.comeonmanpod.com, that'll take you to my authors page where you can get all the versions available. And guys, join the beer club. Beer.comeonmanpod.com. It's a good group of men. It's a good outlet for shit like this, right? Because while I say you can't cry publicly, all right, if you have a good group of dudes you can go to, that's a good place. That's an outlet for that. Okay. We really haven't had anyone necessarily cry in beer club, but we have had a couple of guys join beer club like right after a breakup. And so you could tell that they were feeling it, right? They were having some emotional pain at that time, as one does when you go through a breakup, right? Beer club's a good place for that. Okay. And it's only $10 a month, right? It's cheaper than a therapist. And we actually get together and have video calls at least once a month, sometimes twice a month. Depends on if my boy Omega wants to host a second one, right? The next one I have scheduled for the 25th, right? So get in on that, guys. If you need a place to talk about guy shit and not be judged by it, all right? We'll play a commercial for that in a little bit, but let's get back to the topic. So I have another clip here of a guy asking women if it's okay for a man to cry. Okay.
Some sort of life-threatening injury, never cry in front of your girl. Because even if she doesn't say it, she's gonna lose respect for you.
No, I love boys who cry. It's 2022.
If it's a random, definitely probably not cool. But if you guys have been dating, there's a sense of comfort there. So that's
How long will you have to be dating a guy before you're allowed to cry? He's allowed to cry in front of you.
I don't think it matters about the time. I think it matters about the connection.
Yeah.
That is.
It matters about the connection. It's 2022. Guys should be able to cry. This is why you don't ask women stuff like this, guys. This is why you don't ask women shit like this, right? They want, let's reword this. They will say what is politically correct. They will say what's politically correct, right? They don't want to be judged for being judgmental. All right. And they want to spare everyone's feelings. Okay. It's all about the feels. The fee-fees. What does Paul Benjamin say of Apex Mindset? He says they want to be good chimp, right? They want to be good chimp. When women are anonymous, though, they tend to be more honest, don't they? Right? They tend to be more honest. Also, if you ask questions in the right way, you can get women to be honest about this sort of thing, right? For instance, over the years, I've had women in the comments tell me men should be able to cry, right? I get that very often. Women publicly will tell you men should be able to express their emotions and stuff like that. It said, I just had a comment like that yesterday. When I asked them if they've ever had a boyfriend that cried all the time and how that made them feel, though, they usually will get pretty honest about it. They'll say, well, at first it was okay, but after a while, when he's doing it all the time, it kind of made me wonder why I have to be the man in a relationship, right? What? Just like George Bruno said in his clip, right? The woman emailed him and said, why do I keep meeting guys that cry more than I do? Right? Deep down, subconsciously, sometimes women are just like, this guy, he's weak, right? They look at it like it's weakness. Okay. So when a woman says, no, it depends on the connection, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. You cry in front of your girl, and the clock starts ticking. The clock starts ticking. She starts, in the back of her mind, she's like, wait a second, is this guy weak? And then the shit tests start up again, right? That's when she starts shit testing you, and you start failing the shit test. And then that attraction just starts fucking eroding, right? And then she doesn't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I just don't feel emotionally safe around this guy. Like it or not, guys, it is viewed as weakness by others, especially women. Okay. It's why I always say that you can share those kinds of emotions with your girl, or I'm sorry, you shouldn't share those kinds of emotions with your girl, right? You need to save it for your boys or therapist. Okay. Or bang it out in the gym. Okay. A lot of guys like Myron he wasn't crying, but he was emotionally upset and was like losing his shit, losing his anger, smashing fucking glasses on air and stuff like that. There's a time and a place for that. Take it out at the gym. Go take it out on a fucking heavy bag, right? That's a good place for that. Speaking of a good place for it, guys, remember, join the beer club. Let me play a commercial for that, and then we'll get back into some of these other things. It might be a short episode today. Here it is. Here's a harsh truth that everybody gets upset about online when I say it. They get upset because of their ego investment into the fairy tale idea of love and partnership. They get upset because of their ego investment into the idea that their woman is their best friend, their confidant, and they think that love will conquer all, and that their woman will be there through thick and thin. The truth is that as a man, your woman is hardwired biologically and psychologically to want you to be her rock. It doesn't work the other way around. Women do not care about your struggles as a man. They may think they care. They may even want to care, but her evolutionary DNA will not let her care. If you bring her your problems, she will lose attraction for you over time, and she will leave. Now, whenever I talk about this, people lose their minds and start talking about men unaliving themselves. The faster that men learn that women don't care about our struggles, the faster we'll save the lives of men. Men off themselves because of their own ego investments in the Disney fairy tale lie. And when that fairy tale goes up in flames, they get zeroed out and they end things. Men do need a proper outlet for dealing with their problems, but going to their woman isn't the answer. Men need a tribe. They need a brotherhood. That's why I created my beer club. It's a monthly virtual hangout for men only. It's a place where men can be men. It's a place where men can talk about guy stuff without having to worry about offending women. It's a place where they can go without having to worry about being called toxically masculine. It's a place where they can go to solve their problems. Because men solve problems, women cause problems, you dig? Visit beer.comeonmanpod.com. That's beer.comeonmanpod.com to sign up. Men solve problems, women cause problems, you dig? Oh, Mike Steele, sorry I'm late. I was busy crying. Yeah, Megan says, I take extra showers, so I can't tell if I'm crying or not. There you go. Miles says, no, don't listen to them. They absolutely don't want men to cry. They say what they say because of political correctness. That's facts. And Donger says, you cannot share your pain with women. They don't understand the male's point of view. They absolutely don't. And let's see here. We got a couple of super chats. Brother Nathan sent a $2 super chat. He's going to get this one today.
I was just going to say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Yeah, he definitely fucks. And then Brother Ed sent a $5 super chat. He says, Myron lost his shit. Understand the passion, but not a good look in public. No, not a good look. Nope. And then, so someone posted that and on Twitter, and they were like, Myron's fighting back tears or whatever. Of course, Myron has to fucking quote tweet that and loses shit on Twitter. It's like, bro, stop. Anyway, you're going to get this one.
Shame this horse.
Yes, we'd shame these whores for not letting men cry. Oh. Lewis says, what did Myron do? I don't watch that shit. Here it is. I'll play it again. I'm
gonna stand by the guys that stand by me, because you fucking pieces of shit aren't fucking there when I'm going through it. You pieces of shit aren't fucking there when I'm fucking figuring out what the fuck I'm gonna do because we got demonetized. You motherfuckers weren't there when everyone and their fucking mom came at us. You motherfuckers weren't there when I got the false accusation against me. You motherfuckers weren't there when this bitch lied and said that I got her pregnant when I fucking did it. And then you dumbasses 3 years later believe some bitch that makes the same fucking allegations again. You fucking idiots! I'm not going anywhere. I'm standing right fucking here. All right? These guys were with me in my darkest times. I'm not gonna fucking leave them in their darkest times. Fuck you, motherfuckers. I got my real estate, I got my money, I'm fine. I'm not going anywhere. I can't be bought.
That was real. That was real talk.
That was real talk, bro. Oh, I'm never getting invited on Fresh and Fit. That's okay. I don't need that smoke anyway. Guys, I found this post on the Red Pill Archive. The Red Pill Archive is just a fucking treasure trove of information. Guys have been compiling notes for years now, and a lot of it's getting wiped off the internet, right? But someone decided to cache all that stuff in an archive in one place. And I suggest you guys donate to that so that we don't lose this information. I'm trying to make more videos about stuff from the Red Pill Archive just to keep that information out there, right? Even if we don't save the posts, we can at least save the concepts, right? So this guy, the Red Pilsner wrote this back in 2015. He says, man loses job and breaks down crying when he tells his wife she is surprised to discover that she feels disgusted by him. Now, some of you guys follow me on Twitter. Some of you guys follow me on Facebook. I actually posted a screenshot of the original Reddit post, right? So this was at least back in 2015 that original Reddit post was posted by this woman who was basically posting anonymously. Remember when I said when women are anonymous, they're a little more honest, right? So this woman posted on Reddit, and she was really expressing what a lot of women feel when their man is crying, right? And like I said before, if you're crying without a plan, that's a problem. You know, if you're just like, if you're scared, you can't let her know, right? You got to be like, even if you don't have a plan, you got to be like, you know what, honey, everything's going to be okay. I got a plan. I'm going to take care of this, you know, but I just, you know, this has got me down right now. Right. But as long as she knows that you got shit handled, she's probably going to be okay, but you still can't make it a habit. All right. But let me read this to you. Okay. We'll go through this and, I'll tell you my thoughts on some of these things, right? So the summary is a woman in the relationship subreddit was recently told by her husband that he got laid off. He then broke down crying in front of her. Instead of feeling supportive and sympathetic, she felt disgusted and had no desire to comfort him. All right. Remember what these girls said here?
Some sort of life-threatening injury, never cry in front of your girl. Because even if she doesn't say it, she's gonna lose respect for you.
No, I love boys who cry.
It's 2022. If it's a random, definitely probably not cool. But if you guys have been dating, there's a sense of comfort there. So that's good.
How long will you have to be dating a guy before you're allowed to cry? He's allowed to cry in front of you?
I don't think it matters about the time. I think it matters about the connection.
Yeah.
That is
About the connection. This lady is married to this guy. You would think that they had a good connection, wouldn't you? No, no, you're not safe. Just because you're married or you're in a committed relationship doesn't, the connection is going to erode when she loses respect for you. Okay. So he says the relationship subreddit can often be an unintentional source of red pill truths. Here's a gem I just discovered. So he quotes this. He quotes the lady's original post. So I'm going to read that. She says, my husband has been acting very strange the past 4 days. He's been going in and out every morning like he usually does, but his manner has been different. He had been seeming much less happy, almost as if he had to force himself to smile and at times overcompensate by forcing an exaggerated happiness. Other than that, he was becoming quiet and withdrawn, much slower in daily things, and also very distant. His sex drive has disappeared completely, and he just seemed tired always. So she's noticed a change in her husband in general, right? Clearly, he sounds like a guy who's going through a depression, doesn't he? Yeah. Yesterday, he sat me down and said he had to tell me something very important. He knew something was up, so I was listening I knew something was up, so I was listening very carefully. He proceeded to explain to me how he had been made redundant at work and no longer had a job there. He described how it had made him like a sack of bricks out of nowhere, and he wasn't expecting it. He said he felt hurt and disappointed in himself incredibly. At this point, he started crying, telling me how he feels he has no strength or motivation to carry on, how he feels weak and useless because of all of this. He seemed very weak from the way he was talking, right? A lot of guys get that. They get ego invested in their career or in their job, and they get ego invested in their relationship. And when it goes away, they're fucking crushed. They get zeroed out, right? It's very common with men, especially men that haven't learned good emotional control, right? They have no frame. They don't even know what frame is. And honestly, it's not their fault, right? We've been raised for the past 30 or 40 years under this, under the social norm of feminism, this gynocentric social order. We're told to embrace our feminine side. And, so a lot of guys are raised basically to be defective women. And when shit like this happens, instead of going, okay, I'm going to hit the ground running, I'm going to find another job, no problem, they're like, all is lost. And they start fucking going into depression, right? Happened to my dad when I was a kid. My dad lost his job. He had probably one of the best jobs he ever had. He lost his job, and he was out of work for like 2 years. When I listened to my mom talk about it, he had no motivation to get off the couch and do anything, and she was forced to go back and my mom was a critical care nurse for 30 years, but she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And she couldn't because my dad wouldn't get off his ass and go find another job. And so she had to go and become the breadwinner. And believe you me, we heard about it the entire time I fucking grew up. we heard about it a lot. She resented him for it, right? She still resents him for it. Even though he did eventually get a government job. And, I talk about it in my book, right? My dad did get a government job and he got a really good pension from that. And they basically live off his pension. So he was kind of playing the long game there. And so she's enjoying the benefits of his pension, but she still resents him for all those years that she had to become the breadwinner. You know what I mean? Like women they're like elephants. They don't fucking forget, right? So in this article, the Red Pilsner says, notice her use of language. She mentions weakness twice in as many sentences. It's almost as if she finds weakness unattractive. Can you believe that, guys? Can you believe that? He actually, if you guys, I dropped the link in the chat. If you guys read the article, he's got it highlighted, right? She says how he feels weak and useless because of all this. He seemed very weak from the way he was talking. So this is her subconscious talking. He is weak because he was crying, right? She goes on, while crying, he put his head on my shoulder and hugged me for support, but I just gave him a half hug back. I'm not sure why. I know I was meant to say something. I know I was meant to be empathetic. He's my husband, but I couldn't stand the situation. I just wanted to get away. I knew I should be supportive, but it didn't come naturally to me. I just felt so disgusted and put off by the whole thing, especially the way he was crying. I just couldn't find it in me to be supportive at all. Right? What the fuck is this? I'm going to block this guy. Weirdo. So going back here, right? She's like, I know I should be supportive. Just like the lady in the comments yesterday said men should be able to express their emotions. Should. Right? Yeah. Maybe we should be able to cry in front of our wives without her thinking that we're fucking weak. But that's not what happens. Okay. That's just not reality. All right. She doesn't even know why she's feeling the way she's feeling. Right? She's talking about there. Like, I know I'm supposed to do this. Like, this is the right thing to do over here, but I just can't. I can't bring myself to do that mentally. Right? This is why you don't ask. This is why you don't ask women this shit.
Some sort of life-threatening injury, never cry in front of your girl. Because even if she doesn't say it, she's gonna lose respect for you. That's
No, I love boys who cry.
It's 2022. If it's a random, definitely probably not cool. But if you guys have been dating, there's a sense of comfort there. So that's
how long will you have to be dating a guy before you're allowed to cry? He's allowed to cry in front of you.
I don't think it matters about the time. I think it matters about the connection.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, see, like women, you ask women this shit, they know they should be supportive, but they just fucking aren't. When they're actually in the middle of it, and feeling those emotions, they're like, ugh, this guy's weak as fuck. I have no respect for this guy. Right? So you have to understand women's nature and not what should be, you know? Like, yeah, maybe they should be supportive. They're just fucking not. Okay. They're not wired for it. It's evolutionary psychology. It's evolutionary biology. They're not wired for it. Okay. They're wired to have a man be their protector, provider, and leader. Right. And as soon as they have to take that role, they resent you for that shit. Okay. They don't want to be they don't want to be your rock. They don't want to be there. They don't want the job. Don't put them in that job, right? So she goes on. She says, I have no idea what to do. Is it normal for a wife to feel this way? Is it normal that I feel no urge to comfort and show empathy to my husband during this difficult time for him? But instead, I just feel grossed out by myself and by him. I feel bad for even feeling this way, right? So these are all just emotions that are coming up for her experiencing this, right? It's not even a rational thought, you know? It's just, and that's how women work through shit, right? They talk about it. They want to know how they feel about what the words are about. It's like, bitch, you feel bad because you should feel bad. Okay. That's a pretty fucked up thing. Your husband's coming to you for support and you're icked out by it. Right. But again, we're not about what should be here, right? We're about objective truths. That's why we say, just don't do it, man. Learn some emotional control, save it for your boys or your therapist, right? Your girl's not your emotional rock, bro. I hate to say it. It's just, they're not. Okay. The Red Pilsner goes on. He says he completely broke frame and started crying like a little beta bitch. Nothing kills a woman's attraction towards a man like pity. And if the relationship was based on him being able to provide for her, she no longer sees any benefit to being with him. You guys know what Breifeld's law is, right? Let me see. I could paraphrase it, but let me just pull it up here. Breifeld's law says, the female, not the male, determines all conditions of the animal family, where the female can derive no benefit from association with the male. No such association takes place. So if she's relying on this guy to be her provider, and he basically is like, look, I got fired. I can't provide for you anymore. And I don't have the emotional strength to push through and find another job to continue providing. She now sees no benefit with him. Basically, he gave up on himself. Yes? Can we all agree? Can we all agree? Omega, you've never heard of Breifeld's Law. It's in my fucking book. Read my book, bro. Read my book, bro. Anyway, I have read your book. Well, you missed that part. Read it again. Read it 10 to 15 times. I'm just fucking around. Yeah, no, Breifeld's Law. Learn it, live it, love it, right? It helps guys understanding stuff like that to know how to better navigate their situation with women, right? Because it's not about what should be, it's about what is, okay? A little later, the op replied with this comment. So the op, this is the woman. She says, usually I am empath. Jeez, I need more energy drink. Hold on. She says, usually I am empathetic and compassionate when others are distressed. I think this is the first time the other has been my husband, and I've been the one to have to comfort him. I've never seen him cry before, ever. So he concludes, Pilsner concludes with, a woman wants her man to be her rock, a source of strength and stability in hard times. Seeing him completely broken and defeated shattered the illusion of strength that her husband had so far managed to cultivate. Looking for sympathy when life is hard is something women do. Men look for solutions. I'm going to read that one again. Looking for sympathy when life is hard is something women do. Men look for solutions. Write that down. I'm going to probably tweet that out today. That was a good one. He says, the hamster wheel has begun to spin. It won't be long before she either leaves him or finds a Chad to cheat with. Lessons learned. 1, maintain frame. What's Iron Rule of Tomasi number 1, guys? I had people say this because I put out a tweet yesterday, a meme yesterday. It was about the Myron Fresh situation, right? Where it's like raw dog and Asian escort, right? And it was Robin saying raw dog and Asian escort, and then Batman slapping him, going Iron Rule of Tomasi number 5. And then someone's like, what are the iron rules? Like, can you send me a link? And I'm like, if someone replied back, like, read the fucking books. The iron rules of Tomasi are in the first Irrational Male book, right? There's 9 of them, but I just did a live stream on the 9 iron rules like 2 weeks ago. So go back through my live streams and watch that episode if you aren't familiar with the iron rules of Tomasi. But iron rule number 1 is frame is everything. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, okay? And a part of your frame is emotional control, emotional durability, right? So lessons learned, maintain frame, project strength and confidence even during times of turmoil. That's why it's like, if you let it slip to your girl that you've had a bad day or something bad is happening to you, if you let it slip, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but you need to be aware of it. You need to catch yourself, and you need to be like, you know what? I got a plan. Don't worry about it. I got a plan. Okay. Women will be more forgiving of a slippage like that if they know that you got shit handled, right? They just want to know that you have shit handled most of the time. Okay. But this guy basically told her, I don't have shit handled. I can't go on. I don't have the strength to go on. I want to end things. I lost my job. And she's just like, what the fuck? And now she's thinking, I got to be the man in the relationship, right? It's a recipe for disaster, boys. Lesson number 2 is never cry like a little bitch. Never cry like a little bitch in front of a woman you're sleeping with. If you absolutely must pour your heart out to somebody, pick a trusted male friend or relative who knows how to keep his mouth shut. Right? I say join the beer club. Join the beer club. It's a bunch of like-minded red pill aware dudes. Okay. You go to a church group's not going to fucking understand. They're going to say, yeah, you should be able to cry in front of her. Like she's your partner, right? She's your partner. But if you come to a bunch of guys that understand, they understand the game. They understand how women really are. That's a better outlet for that, right? Don't if for your girl, you're a fucking rock. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Bring that shit to your boys though, because we know not everything's good all the fucking time. Okay. That's reality too. Okay. That's reality too. Not everything's good all the fucking time. Guys go through some shit. Guys go through some shit and they feel like they have no place. They have no outlet for it because guys inherently know that they can't talk to chicks about this stuff, no matter what chicks say. Guys know, right? So bring it to the boys, okay? Because you do go through some shit. You do have to have a place to let that stuff go. You don't want to become some kind of fucking mass shooter. That's what happens when guys like they feel like they have nowhere to go, no one to turn to, and they just bottle up their shit, and it's got to come out somehow. It's got to come out somehow, right? So there's good places for it, right? Beer club's a good place for that kind of shit, right? And it's fun. It's a very active Telegram community. The guys there and they're swapping notes and swapping memes and talking shit all the time. And then when we get together for our hangouts, it's very casual, right? If there's nothing heavy going on, we just talk about fucking guy stuff. We talk about, whatever, sports. We talk about fucking cars. We talk about women. And the best thing is there's no fucking women there. So we don't have to self-censor ourselves because we don't have to hurt women's fifis. Because if you say anything remotely unflattering about women, all of a sudden it's like, all right, guys, that's all I have for this episode. What is my topic on? My topic Friday. So Friday, I am traveling. My son and I are going to Orlando. We're having a bro trip, and so we're going to Orlando. And so my man Mike Steele here in the comments. We're fucking card. What? My man Mike Steele, we recorded an episode on dating horror stories. So that's what's going to play on Friday morning. We're not going to be live. It's going to be pre-recorded live, but definitely tune into it because it's a fun conversation. We don't have any show notes. We just completely wing it and just talk about our experiences on the dating circuit and some of the craziest shit out there, right? This guy is just sending me middle fingers. I guess he doesn't want to be a part of the show. That's weird. Comments help boost me in the algorithm though. Anyway, so Mike Steele and I, we talk about dating horror stories. It's going to be a fun conversation. Tune into that Friday. Other than that, that means I'm not going to be on Rule Zero or Dragon Ship again. Man, I've just been missing those left and right. That's unfortunate. Anyways, guys, if you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. And thanks for everybody that sounded off in the live chat today. That helps these go by much smoother. Thanks for the super chats for you guys that sent super chats. If you guys are watching on Facebook, you can send stars. I don't know how that works, but that helps support the show too, apparently. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list, guys. list.comeonmanpod.com. I'll send you a bunch of free stickers. And you get 20 dating app openers. And you also get a free chapter of my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18, which is, it's a real book, guys. It's a real book. Okay. It's not one of those bullshit grifter books that are only like 60 pages long. Okay. It's a real book. And it's a handbook for life. I talk about all this kind of stuff. Talk about, getting women. Like the longest chapter in the book is dating and spinning plates. And then I have a whole chapter on maintaining long-term relationships. And one of them talks about you gotta be, your girl wants you to be her rock, right? You can't, she's not your rock. It doesn't work the other way around. All right. Get the book. All right. Get it for your sons, get it for your little nephews. Young men need to read this book. Okay. And then finally, guys, do join the beer club. Okay. Join the beer club. I mentioned it a couple of times in the podcast. If you're going through some shit, beer club's a good outlet for that. And it's only $10 a month, right? It's never going to be more than that. In fact, if you sign up for a whole year, it's only $8 a month. It's like the cost of a fancy cup of coffee at Starbucks. You know what I mean? All right. No more super chats, guys. So we'll go ahead and end it here. I got to give my dog some insulin. We will see you guys live next week on Monday, but otherwise tune into the episode on Friday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.